ceiling. Well, I'm gonna need a higher 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 ceiling.
All right, welcome to Miller and Dricksy's pod, baby. We're back after a little bit of a hiatus for Dirty Number Dozen.
Yeah.
Dirty Dozen. There's 12 episodes now, huh?
I know.
So football
Yeah, football
started, and I got to tell you, super excited. Vikings went out and took care of business. What I found super interesting, right, in the wake of the good old Queen of England passing away, we did a moment of silence. The NFL did a moment of silence for Queen Elizabeth.
Okay.
Which, if you don't think about it, what a great sentiment. But if you do think about it, an Americanized sport.
Yeah, but they started playing in London.
I'm just saying American football. Do we forget about 1776? That easy? You know what I mean? If you think about it, you know.
Okay.
Everybody just fought for this. Freedom. A moment of silence for the Queen of England.
Oh, boy.
I just thought it was interesting. That's why I had to bring up the weekend of football starting up. But yeah, Dirty Dozen, baby. We've been off for about, what, 3 weeks, almost a month?
Probably.
We haven't launched the pod, just been crazy busy. We did go up to good old Bowabic and took care of business for the annual golf trip. You know, it was pretty cool that we're on the same team. That's because you knew who had a draft and you knew who would come through at the end of the day.
And they just got absolutely trucked.
They got torched. The first day, it was close, wasn't it?
It was close.
Were we behind by one?
We were behind after the third round, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go into singles matches and it was just
your boy. I think they won 2 out of 16.
Yeah. That's a tough day.
That is a tough day.
It's a tough day, but it was it was well earned by all the participants who played in it. And speaking of that trip, if you want to get into next year's trip, it's time to start enrolling now because it's going to be, you know, we're going to have the grandfathered in stuff, and then it's also going to be pretty crazy.
Fast and furious to get deposits paid.
Yes, it's
going to be like this. So we had year one where some guys couldn't make it the second year because of a wedding or whatever, Ramadan. I don't know. Whatever it was.
Ramadan.
Whatever.
Like it? We're wide open here.
Second year guys are obviously, there's a little bit of, not grandfathered in, but seniority.
Yeah.
So both, a lot of guys had 2 years. Some had one from the year before. We just give a little seniority. So their deadline will be by X date for returning golf trippers.
Right.
And then we open it up for the floodgates for new people if it doesn't fill up.
Right.
That's how we're going to have to do it. I already got the pricing for Giants Ridge again. It's the same exact fee. Actually, I think it went up by $11 because we're going to get that fourth villa instead of that stupid condo. Because by the time I booked it in the spring, my fourth villa was already booked out. So, but anyways.
Because somebody ended up sleeping on in
couch?
a corner.
Yeah, basically.
Not even a couch.
KK, captain.
Yeah. Put the captain on the floor, bro.
Yeah. Put baby in the corner.
Put baby in the corner. I don't know how long. I drove back with him and Big Brian, and I don't know how long of a conversation that was, but there was a sore spot there.
Yeah, he was mad.
But when he gets mad, you can't really tell.
No,
because he's a teacher, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think he's very like, he's not mad. He's just disappointed. You know what I mean? He's just like, he's not going to be the guy that fucking yells at you in your face, but he's going to look at you like you're just going to be like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yes.
What did I do? He's got a ruler. Run.
I told him, I go, you can sleep with Al and I'll,
I slept like a baby. Got my own room. You did put me in the party room, which I thought was interesting. Put the sober guy in the loudest room possible. But, what's the best? What is the best way?
I thought you would be up playing cards.
Listen to me. What is the best way to test a bulletproof vest?
Yeah,
you got to shoot it.
But there was 12 sober guys, so I have to try to what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Sober cabin.
Yeah, there's sober guys and then there's sober guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, no, but it was a great trip. The food was spectacular. There's more than enough to feed everybody. I mean, the entire thing was just great. And Kurt Schlee, God, that guy needs just a round of a frickin' applause. That guy, you know what I mean? Kurt Schlee, buddy, if you're watching the Dirty Dozen here,
not only was
remarkable,
he remarkably like hospitable and like
woke up in the morning, made breakfast on his own dime.
Dishes.
Oh yeah, clean dishes. He was just nice to everybody. Just got everybody like up and at him, ready to rock. Not only that, then the guy goes and makes a hole in one.
Fucking jar,
just jardined it.
Baskets.
That's awesome. If anybody was going to make a hole in one that weekend, it had to be him. For one, because of all the hospitality that he presented to us as a group. But number two, by far the funniest looking guy in that hat. Like if you could pick anybody out of the 32 of us that could have wore the hole in one hat for the weekend,
yes,
he was the guy you wanted to wear it.
Yes,
just swimming in it. Just swimming in it.
I'm just wondering how he's beating off the women with a stick right now.
Oh, I know, left and right.
That'd be my Tinder profile.
Oh, absolutely. Just the flag on the top, swinging the ball around. And the ball made it all of 10 seconds? And it came flying off the hat. So if you haven't seen the picture of Kurt Schlee in his hole-in-one hat, go to the Annual Golf Trip page or the Miller and Dricksy site. We have a picture up there of him with the hole-in-one hat on, which is a big red fedora, or not red, green fedora, basically, with a little stick flag and a ball attached to some fishing line.
And the flag said hole-in-one hat.
Yeah. There was a lot of thought that went into that.
Yeah.
That hat. But,
so I think, with that, for the hole-in-one on our basic, not our first trip, but it was our second trip, I think from now on we should probably maybe buy hole-in-one insurance and do like some sort of prize. Because there's companies that if it's over 155 yards or something, and you can pay it like a $250, someone gets a hole-in-one, you can have like some grand prize that they'll pay.
They will. I think there's another one. I know a guy, they have it's like a hole-in-one thing across the country, and they can come out and they put like cameras up at all the par threes and stuff. Yeah. That's pretty cool too, because then you go into a big pot for that. But yeah, I think I've done at golf clubs that I've been a part of, we have an insurance part of our dues, so if you get a hole-in-one, you're not stuck with this
$5,000 bill.
Huge bill.
Yeah.
I was fortunate when I made mine. It was like a Tuesday. Nobody was there. I think my bill was like $800. So the insurance definitely paid for that and then some.
Yeah.
At that point. But I think for the trip, it could have been bad. I think if it wasn't Kurt, I think we would have made whoever made it pay the price.
Well, we decided that it was going to be a keg, and we didn't even do that because it would have been like a total waste. I brought home a case and a half of beer.
Yeah.
And there was just not a ton of drinking going on.
No, not as much as you. And as far as like beer and
there's just no time. Is there there's no time. What are you going to do? Get up and drink 5 beers?
Yeah.
And then when you get back and you're tired as shit after driving, then you got a round, then you're, eating dinner, and then you're picking teams for the next day. Or matches. What are you going to do? You're going to drink a dozen beers? It's just not going to happen.
If I was still drinking, that would make a lot of sense to me.
No, but
that'd be me.
No, but even you have to stay up really late in order to actually get down a large amount of beers.
Yeah.
So it was a perfect amount. I bought 4 or 5 cases of beer and 2 seltzer.
Yeah.
And I brought a bunch home.
Yeah.
So it was perfect.
Yeah, we should do and we're definitely open to suggestions. So if anybody listening to this or is a fan of Miller and Dricksy's or the Annual Golf Trip, come up with suggestions. Best dressed, things that maybe there's things you have to do as a result of not playing well. Let's say the highest scored hole, somebody has, you have to do something. Whatever the case may be, that could be pretty fun. Speaking of tired, and we're going to bounce away from the Annual Golf Trip right now.
You're tired of losing?
Losing what?
Well, we didn't talk last time. You guys lost the second time.
Listen, that's a non-issue, okay? Because first and secondly, both were extremely bogus.
Oh,
Particularly the last one was bogus, dude.
why?
I don't remember why, but I remember that it was bogus.
Because it was Stone Ridge,
It was Stone Ridge.
which is pure.
First time I ever played it, I didn't play bad.
No, it's a beautiful golf course.
I actually played really, really well.
Yeah.
And
I actually played.
You played well. You guys ham and egged it a lot better.
Yeah.
Like Garrett doesn't mess up much, but when he did, then you would like stuff it to 2 feet, and it drove me absolutely bonkers. The 2-2s were a great idea. They did get in the way. I started wearing mine as a ponytail.
Or backwards or something.
Yeah, I just had to get
and then
it out of the
we
way.
let you take them off on the back nine, which is a total bullshit play.
Well, you guys were like,
We were winning.
You were 3 up, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna keep swinging with a 2-2 and just get demolished. Or
You guys looked really cute.
thank you. I thought we looked good. We're the best looking people out there, and we definitely turned some heads. Where nobody, but in 2022, there's a fine line between people who want to say something and people who don't want to say something. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
they were
So you don't
like-
want, because you're like, do they actually wear 2-2s? Is this what they want to do? You know, because we just don't know.
Some of them were like, you lost a bet.
yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely were. And I almost wanted to be like, no, I just like wearing a 2-2 and just really make it awkward for those guys.
Like I saw in Zaire Golf or something. It was like some guy had to wear like a golf dress or skirt,
Yeah.
like the whole round, and he was just embracing.
Oh yeah. At
was
that
in a
moment,
dress.
you have to embrace it, and you have to play "I Feel Pretty" over and over again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna go absolutely bonkers by wearing that thing.
There's no way I would wear a dress.
Oh, it was itchy. It wasn't great, but
No.
it was part of the bet, and we did it. And yeah,
Now we'll come up with something else for you to do.
that's correct. We need to find out something else for us to do, and the season is coming to an end pretty closely. It's we want to play in more scrambles as a group. Oh, I will tell you this. So I played in 2 scrambles since we started doing the legit or shit stuff, and I've had a few people like just text me about legit or shit, like, oh my god, you won't believe what happened at the scramble and this and that. But I've actually put it to test. Like I've actually done this and told people, hey, I got a podcast. You
Well, we
guys
won.
seem to do pretty well, Well, we won a scramble, yeah. Well, we always win a scramble. But I was playing in a scramble at the Refuge. It was like last week or something like that, which we have won consecutively 3 years in a row up to this year. Okay, we were going for the dynasty,
I
right?
thought, didn't we talk about this on the last podcast?
No, this just happened.
Oh, okay.
This just happened like a week ago. And no, we were talking about the Mankato Golf Club one.
okay.
This is at the Refuge. We've won it 3 years in a row. We were coming in strong score, right? We shot 17 under, right? And there was only mulligans. There was no string. There was no nothing. And it was blowing probably 30 miles an hour winds.
I played that day. I played at Stone Ridge.
You did? Okay.
Yep.
Very windy day.
Very.
So this group comes in, and you know how you can tell a group is just, they're having a lot of fun. It's a group of old guys. They're all old friends. They're talking about the round and how, everything just started working and it went really well. And I kind of just told the guys that I was with, I was like, I bet we lose to them. And they were like, there's no way. And I'm like, well, we'll see. So they said they shot 20 under and 30 mile an hour winds. Okay.
With no
string. No nothing. And when I heard them talking amongst themselves, they were talking about only hitting one par 5 and 2. Right? So I was cordial after everything. I didn't say anything during the presentation of the gifts, the prizes, whatever. I didn't say anything. Afterwards, as we're walking out, I sat with them. And I was like, congrats, guys. I just want to let you know, I have this podcast. It's called Miller and Dricksy's. And we have this segment that we actually take like the best score that we see at scrambles. And then we have you guys go against us in a 4-on-4 scramble. And if we think that you're really good,
Capable.
legit, and capable of shooting that score, we'll pay for your round for the day. And if not, you go on the shit list. And they were like, well, where will we play? I'm like, wherever you want. We can come back here and play if you really want to. And we'll try to pick a nice sunny day. Maybe you guys can shoot like 22 under, because then it won't be blowing 30 mile an hour winds. I'm really impressed with how you shot.
Well, was it unlimited mulligans?
No.
Like 4
Yep.
a team or something?
Yep. And They didn't bite.
Well, of course not.
The drunkest guy goes, "We got nothing to prove. We don't have time to do that." I'm like, "So you guys all work?" "No, we're retired." "But you don't have time to potentially play in a free 4-round, little scramble?" Because even if you guys, let's say they shot lights out that day, the best they've ever played, right? Which most guys at scrambles will say, "We've had the best day we've ever had. This is our day. It was just our day." That's what they all say. It's all the same. Even if you're 75% of that, you're still going to shoot 17 under, right?
Yeah.
Okay. These guys will not do that.
No.
All right.
Did you see this?
What?
I'm just laughing about it because we're talking about legit or shit.
Okay.
This hole sponsored by. Did you see that on Zyre Golf? This hole sponsored by. Hi, this is Pete. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I couldn't make it today, but fucking know this. If I had my team, we would be curb stomping yours right now. Fuck off.
Nice. We should just start sponsoring holes at scrambles.
This is Pete. That's a good one.
That reminds me of like when you hit a long drive or you get a proxy putting like a fake name on there. My favorite is Barry. Barry McCockiner. But you got to be careful because if you're in a scramble like I was, this was a work event scramble. Okay. And I piped. I don't lose a lot of long drives if I pipe it.
Yeah.
Piped it straight down the fairway. It was on a par 5 into the wind. And where I hit it was like 315 into the wind, right? And I was like, oh, nobody's going to beat that, right? We had 140 yards out to the pin.
Yeah.
This is the same scramble that those guys shot 20 under, right? A guy about your stature, maybe a little bigger, drunker than a skunk, wins longest drive, right? And I go, all right, well, I'm just going to talk to him after the thing too. Once again, very cordial, not butt hurt, more curious. Little butt hurt, but pretty curious, okay? I said, oh, man, great drive. How far did you guys have out? He's like, well, we were only like 170 out. And I was like, really? We were only 140 out. I wonder how'd you get longest drive? He's like, well, it looked like I was closer.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, dude. But anyway, longest drive was like a sleeve of the Titleist NXTs and a hat. So wasn't that crazily butthurt. But then speaking of tired and long drives and winning proxies and things of that nature, I played in a 100-hole challenge 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Still feeling the effects of it today. Now, I'm not sore, which is very surprising. After all that, I've had my back issues for the year and all that. Back is completely okay. I don't feel any effects there. My legs were sore a little bit.
Your ego is hurting.
What do you mean?
I don't know. What'd you shoot?
I had really good 5 rounds. I shot 74, 69, 80, 71, 78
That's
for my 5 rounds.
Where is this at?
This was at Rush Creek,
Okay.
which one of my favorite courses, one of my least favorite atmospheres. Can I put it that way?
Where's Rush Creek?
Rush Creek is in Maple Grove, and it is people can call it semi-private, but it is a public course with a big clubhouse that, I think at once upon a time used to be public or whatever. And here's what I'll tell you about Rush Creek. It is a fantastic course. It's a fun course to play. I will also tell you, if you go out there and you think it's worth the price of admission,
Isn't it really overpriced?
you are sadly mistaken. Yes, they charge you $160 to play around there. Now,
Yeah,
I was fortunate enough to play in a 100-hole challenge for the Robbinsdale Women's Center, which if you don't know what that is, look it up. They have a great program. It is very much pro-life, I guess, type of facility. So just know if you're going to donate to the Robbinsdale Women's Center, that's what you're donating to. They help women who are afraid to have babies work through their woes to give birth to a child that maybe they think isn't wanted, but they really help you and knowing that, life is a gift and all that sort of stuff. So it was a good deal for me in particular. So my mom had me at 15. So I think my mom was definitely in that bracket. So that's why I like to do that and help out the Robbinsdale Women's Center, because I'm obviously a survivor of that kind of mentality.
Okay.
So not speaking of my own beliefs or what other people should believe. I'm just telling you that is what it is. Okay.
Okay.
So I had great donors, great sponsors. Thank you everybody who sponsored me out at the event. I think I raised $2,100 for that event. It wasn't the most. There was a guy that they actually raised like $17,000 for the Robbinsdale Women's Center. It was just an overall great event. There was 24 guys there. They all had their, had to raise money for it or whatever. But yeah, it's 100 holes of golf, right? What's nice is you can play 2 balls, which I didn't know until 2 rounds in that you could play 2 balls. So I played 2 straight up 18s. And then in passing, somebody had told me, you can play 2 balls and it counts as 2 holes. And they're like, I would suggest you do that for like the par 3s and maybe the shorter par 4s and things of that nature. So then I played the next round with 2 balls to get up to 4. And then I played the last round straight up with 2 balls on 10 other holes to get to 100. Now, there was a prize for getting the most holes in. I didn't want any part of that. I was like, I'm going to get to my 100 and be good. So I got to my 100, got done. I played a few more holes with other guys, just drove around and met with some other people. But they had a lot of cool contests out there. They had longest drive, closest to the pin after 2 shots. They had like little chip into the hula hoop thing, lowest score with 1 club on 2 holes, which was really fun. Which one guy got, he had a 9 total on 2 par 4s with a 4 hybrid, which is pretty good. It's particularly because it was 5 and 6 at Rush Creek. 5 is a little bit easier with 1 club. 6 is not. So I played 7-iron on both. So on number 5, played 7-iron, 2 putted for my par. But then on 6, I hit a 7-iron off the tee. I only had 80 yards in downhill after my 7-iron. So it's like,
get chippy.
How am I gonna do this? Because the way that green is, it's a small, tiny green. There's a big hill above it that has full rough, so you can't throw it on the hill and hope that it comes down. And then right in front of it is all bunkers. So it is a pretty tough hole to do with 1 club. And I think I doubled it. I think I chipped it short in front of the bunkers, and I had to hit a little lofty little
something
thing with a 7-iron, and then I had to tap it down the hill and then put it in for my 6. But it was super fun. And but the long drive hole there was no question. I mean, so what I did before this is I actually turned my driver down, because right now it's an 8 stock and I had it in standard 8. I turned it down to a 7, and holy crapola. I turned it down to a 7. I moved that weight just a little towards the draw side, not a whole lot, because it was right in the center before. I literally moved it down maybe a half an inch. Pounding it.
Yeah.
I mean, smash factor way up, way better flight.
I don't want to talk about people that are pounding the ball.
It's not getting high in the air.
I got just absolutely trunked in 12-man by a guy that probably drove at 330 every tee shot. So
you have a little PTSD,
dude. I mean, I know you are long. Alex is long. I've never played against a guy that was so straight off the tee, and it would be laying right in front of the green, like the shorter par 4s.
Really?
He's literally chipping 20 yards. Wow. From 3, it was 360 par 4s. And I hope he's listening, because as we go up to the first tee box, I was like, please don't let me lose to this guy, visor guy. I can't fucking lose to visor guy that wears the track, like the what are they fucking called? Joggers.
Yeah.
With the cuffs. Like,
yeah.
He had joggers with fucking cuffs, and he's got a visor on, fucking big old round, what are those watches? The Garmin watch.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, he shot fucking 65. I'm like,
just stomped your ass.
Well, we would have been fine
if he didn't shoot at 65. Yeah, I bet you would.
No. Reese Jacobson from Southern.
Yeah.
You know Reese. You remember Reese, the little budgie kid?
Yeah.
He maybe broke 90.
Yeah.
And that kid shoots in the 70s all the time.
Really?
He couldn't hit. I mean, everything he hit would go 100 miles left. So I was in one because I think I told you. And I'm going to tell the listeners.
Okay.
So the MPGA, 12-man, or that's what it's through, right?
Yep.
So we're in the first round of the playoffs.
Right.
Against Riverwood up in Otsego.
Got it.
It's crazy that we're playing a team from so far away, but that's fine. That's just how the fucking cards fell. So we're thinking, okay, we'll schedule our match at a course, a Minnesota Public golf course, in between the two. Oh, and the MPGA is like, no. We have you guys going to Greenhaven because Greenhaven, the greens are not punched, and it's one of our, we selected that course for the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, fuck. It's an hour and 20 minutes from Southern Hills.
This is Greenhaven and Anoka.
Correct.
Off of 10.
Yeah, and so it's 20 minutes from Riverwood.
Yeah.
Do you think that any of Southern Hills players have ever played Greenhaven?
No.
How many guys do you think at Riverwood have played Greenhaven?
All of them.
All of them. Okay. I get there an hour and 10 minutes early because I was kind of struggling with my swing for the last couple of weeks prior to this event. Worked on it in the garage a little bit the day before, and I didn't get to play.
No.
So I was like, I think I feel pretty good about it, So I'll get there early and hit some balls and see how it goes. Well, I go in to pay. Oh, we don't have a driving range. I was like, what? Like, why would they put us at a site that doesn't have a fucking driving range? Like, how does that even happen?
Did
We're
they
playing a
have any type of practice area at all?
Nothing.
No putting green.
So I'm fucking in one because I'm just like, well, I have no idea where this first tee ball is going to go.
Yeah.
Like literally I'm hitting into a net at my house. It feels good, but I needed to still probably tweak some things to get it.
And do you not have
comfortable.
Do you still have that Opti shot?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't.
It's
hook
like
it
a
up.
game.
It's a
right?
game,
Yeah.
basically. Like I'm not gonna manipulate the club face to make it go straight on a fucking Opti shot.
Right.
So then I get up there, or I'm on the putting green, and I hear a lot of their guys talking about, hey, did you stop at Riverwood to hit balls this morning? Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm like, oh, we are just in one. Like our team is just totally screwed. Like we got trunked. We were like, I think we bogeyed the first 4 holes, Reese and I.
Wow.
And so we're down 4 after 4. And then I birdied 5. And I was like, all right, we're doing good. And he immediately birdied 6, the guy. And I was just like, we are so fucked.
How long of a course and what kind of course?
Short as
is it?
shit.
Short?
6,100
Tight?
yards. Not really.
Really?
No, but I just like literally had no idea where the ball was going. And I didn't figure it out until.
Are there trees there?
So.
Or is it more links?
There's trees.
Is
Tons
it
of
like
trees.
southern trees?
No, it's like big
Way
trees.
more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
like Valleywood?
yeah, but not quite as tight and weird as Valleywood.
Okay.
So literally on hole 4, okay, Reese hit his hybrid. He hit it like dog shit. Hitting over a pond on the par 5, I think he was laying up. Maybe not. It's hitting a 7-iron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hits the ball, club head, into the pond.
Oh, no.
7-iron. So 7-iron's out of play.
You're like go-to if you're struggling.
I hit my drive like just 3 feet left of where I really wanted to, and it kind of like hopped into the hazard. Wasn't in the water. Like it was just on the edge, but it was a fucked lie.
Yeah.
And I tried to hack it out with a 56, like up the fairway by the 150, and I pulled it and right in the water. So what I did, I was like, okay, you guys won this hole. This was our 4th hole.
Got it.
And so I sat there and I dropped 4 balls and hit 5-iron to the green from there. Because I was like, at whatever I was, 205 out. And I was just like, I need to practice. I need to hit some balls. Because like I'm just, and then I birdied the very next hole. Because I just stuffed an 8-iron. Like,
Yeah.
and then I started stuffing shit more. Well, then I'd missed like 3, 4, 5 putts just short. I fucking gave my putter a fucking toss. Bent it.
Which one is this? Is
The
this
Ardmore,
Vader?
The Ardmore. The TaylorMade.
The Vader. The one that looks like Darth Vader.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
So I got it home. I bent it back. But I said, fuck it. Because I had just figured out my putter stroke, right?
Yeah.
And these greens were kind of slow. So I was just getting mad because I couldn't get the ball to the hole.
Right.
So I put Garrett Scotty in my bag. And I went out and shot 66 the next day.
Nice.
Fucking stupid. I hate golf so much. It's so stupid.
That's all
And
it
then I
is,
played
too.
9 yesterday, and I was 1 under after the first 9, and I had to leave because I had to do work shit. But
Yeah.
so like 5 under through the last 27 holes. So it's just stupid. I fucking hate golf. Especially when you're going bad. Like going bad is like probably like affects me more than anything on the planet. Like running bad in golf. Like not like where you're swinging with two left hands, right?
What I'm really hating right now is that I'm making that turn. I'm making the turn around the corner where my back's feeling better, and now I'm playing a lot better, like a lot better. Mm-hmm. And particularly in this 100-hole challenge, I realized how good I can play.
Yeah.
And how good I can play, like just going to stock swings, you know? And the season's almost over.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. And then you start over all again in the spring.
But let me tell you something. Before you rudely interrupted me.
Oh, I did.
I turned the driver down to 7 degrees.
Yes.
And it is going so far and straight.
Good.
That I don't know what to do with myself.
Good.
I'm so excited about it. So I have one long drive at the 100-hole challenge is what I'm trying to say.
Good.
Did
you get anything?
I did. I got a nice $100 gift card to the pro shop, and then I got a $50 gift card to the pro shop for participating. So I got 3 dozen golf balls. That's what I get at pro shops.
Really?
But yeah, I don't need more clothes. I have enough clothes.
Okay.
So I get golf balls. And then there was another hole that I got a proxy to, and it was the closest to the pin in 2, which everybody was like, wow, that was an awesome wedge shot you hit. Because it was like a foot.
Oh, yeah.
I was putting.
Yep.
And if you know Rush Creek at all, number 4, it's supposed to be like 316 yards, but it's all the way uphill, and it was a little into the wind that day. I was putting.
Yeah.
That's how good I was hitting that driver.
It's good. Keep it together.
Yes. And
you should be my partner for this league that I'm in.
I get that a lot. Didn't you send something out for but anyway, 100, let me just wrap up. I'm sorry to hear about your loss and how you guys got fucking destroyed. I really am. It hurts me deep down to my
Well, I got
core.
another loss to talk about. So keep going. I'll
Let me finish up with the positive things, like helping out the Robbinsdale Women's Center for the 100-hole challenge, and getting driver and just feeling good at golf. Now let's go into, you have another loss. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about another one of your losses, and then we'll come back to more of a positive, something that maybe we could win.
I don't love handicapped events, but it's grown on me over the years. Like I feel like it evens the playing field, you know?
Why don't you just start sandbagging?
Well, there's just no effing way.
Or
the guys that we played were actually posting real scores. There's just no way. Like, so Ryan Jessica, my Valleywood partner, and I were in the semifinals of the match play event out at Valleywood. We go play our match, and we're playing against a 19 handicap and a 7 handicap at Valleywood. Okay. So we looked at the 19 handicap scores, and he had rounds in the 70s. He's a 19 handicap. He had rounds in the 70s, and he had rounds that were 120 plus. Now, I don't think I've ever seen a disparity like that in my life.
That's a pretty crazy swing.
I just don't know how that's even possible. So I don't know if Valleywood's posting league scores. So that's why he was shooting 78 at Valleywood. But then when he goes other places, he just like fucking flip a coin for what number he wants to post.
But if you post league scores, you're supposed to label them as tournament, which are more weighted.
And I didn't look. And I didn't look to see if they're...
And with the 70s and the 120, are they in the same year? Or are they in different years?
Same year.
So
within a week,
how
like
can you
2
even
weeks
be a
of
19? Because your handicap is only is 20% of the time your best score is what handicap is supposed to be. So 20% of your rounds, if you're shooting 20% of your rounds in the 70s,
he was only like 1 or 2 through the summer. And then the rest were like 90, 100, 110, 120, 115, 160. I'm just like,
so
how
he's
does that
supposed
even
to shoot.
happen?
He's supposed to shoot a 91, is what he's supposed to shoot.
I mean, Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
What did he
more
shoot?
than that.
What did
right?
he shoot?
So,
He's supposed to shoot 91 20% of the time.
So, and then what's the rest?
Over 91.
Okay. Yeah. It wasn't even fucking close.
Okay.
So we go out. He birdies the first hole. The 19 handicap birdies the first hole. Straight up birdie. So he net eagle. Right?
Like good ball flight or lucky?
Yeah. Like fucking his like whatever hybrid or whatever in the middle of the fucking fairway, hits it up there. He got a wanky swing. He's an older guy, like 55.
Sounds
maybe.
like Keith's brother.
So then
Not this Keith.
so then the 7, so this I can't remember like exactly the details, but the 7 handicap was like 1 under through 13 fucking holes. So like net together as a group, they were 11 under through 13. And we got just absolutely steamrolled. And we were both 1 under each.
Wow.
Through 13. And it
Jessica's
was
a
done.
7,
it was a 6
right?
and 5. The thing about it is I went and talked to like the league guy who runs it, and he's like, yeah, he's like, when I saw your email, because I emailed him and then I came and talked to him after, he's like, yeah, we've had problems with these guys before. They win every handicapped event. I'm like, well, then maybe you shouldn't let them fucking play. Like, if they're fucking floating their handicaps up because they're douchebags, and they look douchey, mind you.
Why? What is the benefit of? I don't get that.
Doesn't make any sense.
Why would you be so happy at doing that?
Don't know, because it's the only way they can win.
Like, I just don't. I don't understand it. Now, I will tell you that I've gone up to I'm like a 5.2 right now. But I post every score.
Right.
I don't care if I'm injured or not. I'm posting my score because I'm going out there and I'm playing. I'm playing as best as I can for that time.
Yep.
So with now the way that I'm playing, and I don't know how it works. I don't know if I can post all 5 of my rounds from Monday on the same day.
Probably not. Not if you're dropping 2 balls.
No, and that's when I wouldn't post those ones. But I'm wondering if I have to post the 74 or the 69.
I mean, it's probably not something you
Or do
need
I
to
just
do.
post the first one I played?
Maybe.
Okay. So that's how I am though. I want to post the right score. I want to be fair to everyone that I play against. Because I may be a 5, but if you give me 5 strokes in like a match event, I feel terrible. Because I'll fire 5, 6 birdies. I'll rattle them off.
It's hard for me to play you because I have to shoot even par
Yeah.
no matter what.
Right.
It's hard,
just
it's
think
hard
about-
for me to play single digits. Well, not all, but for the majority.
Well, just think about like White Eagle that we played.
That was when I was
You
swinging
sucked,
with
but at the
2,
same time,
I
I
mean,
mean-
it was the worst I've played in years.
I was stuffing wedges that I don't normally do because Alex, our boy Alex,
Fixed it up.
it's just more told me that I need to stay on my front foot, which makes so much sense that
Yeah.
I couldn't do it though when my back hurts. But if I really focus on it, I can. And you just get so much better trajectory
Yeah.
if you do that. So wedges have been a lot better. But yeah, I just don't. This is my biggest.
So I have that coming up.
This hurts me so much to hear you say that because it's
Well-
my biggest fucking thing and it drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Okay? When we were on the golf trip, for instance, this came up in the very first round. Me and Alex are fucking playing against Keith
Yeah.
Dolly.
Yeah.
That's his last name. And his brother Jim.
Yep.
Through the first 11 holes, 12 holes, Jim was swinging the club like he was a fucking 3.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Work with me here.
So you guys just had no way to win.
If you're gonna come out as a 16 handicap and you've birdied 3 holes through 13,
Yeah. You're preaching to the choir, man. I just dealt with it.
work with me.
We didn't win a hole.
Nothing against Jim. He's a very nice guy. And so is Keith. And I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. That when shit like that happens,
Yeah, we're furious as
and
golfers.
then, this has all to do with the golf game itself and nothing to do with personnel. And if he wants to take it personal, that's his own thing. But here's what I'll tell you. If a 15, 16 handicap has been shelling us all day, and he has one of his holes that he is out of the fucking hole, and you want him to show you a line, and he's out of it.
Yeah, he's out of it. You pick it up.
And I say, Jim, you're good.
Yeah, he picks it up.
And then you sit there and you say, no, I want to see the line.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And then you get butthurt that I said that. And I didn't even say it dickishly. It was all about the fairness of the game of golf. I said, Jim, you're good. Because he's out of the hole. I don't need you to show Dolly your line
That's funny.
for his par.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. You pick it up. They say you can putt it after.
Of course.
If Jimmy wants to put that putt after,
Of course.
he can putt it.
Go right ahead.
But if you're just going to bounce the ball around,
Because
to
what
give-
keeps me as a player from going, okay, I'm out of the hole. I'm going to go putt it over in front of Alex's ball
right?
that he has for birdie.
Yeah, because
And I'm
if
gonna show
he
him the
sees-
line.
If he sees a line, he's going to make the putt every fucking time.
Correct.
So
Correct.
yeah, no, that just doesn't work.
And then it should have been dropped after that. But apparently,
You guys should have boxed or something.
no. It had. Here's the thing. Is I'm not butthurt and I don't keep fucking grudges. Okay.
Yeah,
It was about the golf game and that was it.
yeah,
Some people like to keep grudges.
yeah.
And then some people like to maybe mold the final pairings on the last day to their liking.
Oh, you wanted to play him so bad.
I wanted to take care of it on the golf course
yeah,
because that's what golfers do.
that would have been a
We
good
don't take
matchup.
care of it like in high school, make gossip.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Keith with an I and Keith with a Y.
Yeah.
just going at
He even
it.
told me on the first day, I think we should battle it out the last day. The Keiths against each other. I said, well, that's a great idea.
Because you
But I
guys were
will-
both playing at
But
5.
he must have known something.
You guys were both playing at 5.
Yep.
And you would have trunked him.
Yeah.
It would have been bloodbath.
Because I basically was trunking a 12 that was playing like a 4 that day.
right.
But I made
But you guys didn't win.
7
did you?
birdies that round. What do you mean?
I thought you guys didn't win that match.
I pushed my guy,
Oh yeah.
which is remarkable.
No. I'm talking about the you and Alex. Didn't you guys get beat?
Yes.
Like you guys got 1 point or 0 points? 1.
A half.
A half a point.
Yes.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Not because of Keith.
No. But that's okay. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like handicaps are great because it does even the playing field. At the end of the day,
And I will
though,
tell you this, that I
listen,
love Keith as a person.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, though, I knew that the singles matches were going to go the way of the better golfers. Like we had all the lower handicaps on our team,
Yep.
and just we all have way more experience in match play, pressure, all that stuff, and it was just going to always catch up to them.
Right.
Like Matt, I love you, buddy, but you draft like a wet donkey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like you can't just draft your friends. Like
Yep.
this isn't like we want to like bunk up with our buddies and like this is
Yeah.
to meet new people. This is to like, obviously we like the competitive part of it. And in order to be competitive, you have to draft the right goddamn guys.
Right.
Like you can't draft the 10 handicap when there's still single digits up there. Like you got to try and get those guys.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, they came through like Matty B, he's
Yeah.
hit or miss sometimes, but when he had to play a single match, he stepped up to the plate and fucking knocked her out of the park.
Yeah.
I mean,
Matty
I don't know.
B is one of my favorite guys. I'm just saying that right now.
he's a good
Matty B is one of my favorite guys of all time.
Yeah. Did you play alternate or?
I didn't get to play with him at all,
Oh, okay.
but we rode up together
Oh yeah. He's
in
a good
your
dude.
SUV.
Yeah.
We had some good chit chats.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's a good dude. But okay, I just wanted to squash that.
The handicap stuff.
I wanted to squash it.
Here.
Because I feel like, let me squash it.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of hot-headedness that goes on.
Yep.
Okay? I'm letting it be known that I have no quarrels,
Quarrels. Quarrels.
whatever, against anybody that we went on the group with. And I will tell you that the last guy that I played my match with, Kevin McDonald, turned out to be one of my favorite people also on the trip.
That's good.
Really, really good guy. Really good golfer for his handicap and really took the pressure a lot better than most guys would do in the situation he was in, because I was throwing every birdie down on him possible and he stayed in it.
That's great.
Right? So I'm going to say that. I have utmost respect for you, Mr. McDonald. Keith Dolly, utmost respect for you, my friend, with Mulligan's Golf.
Yep.
Right? Who he will be on the podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to have him out on the podcast.
He's kind of a vagina.
Love him, though.
I do
Because he's very competitive.
Yeah.
And I love that about him. But at the same time, we need to just move on from that one point in time, one point in history on the golf trip, when, let's say, you did something that technically is not correct. Right? Am I right?
You're right.
It's technically not correct, and I get it. I get why you did it. And hey, you're playing with your brother. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay? But we need to move on and just know that you were incorrect
Yes.
in doing that. Was I incorrect the way that I worded it? Maybe. But I'm not in the wrong here. And I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was just trying to keep the sanctity of the match,
Yeah.
because there was no sanctity there of the match.
You if someone tells you you're good, you pick up the putt or pick up your ball.
That's correct.
And take that.
And that's how I thought it was too. And hey, if I would have been wrong and I would have heard differentiating things towards that account that I was wrong in saying that, I would say my bad and move on. Now, on the flip edge of the coin, if you realize that what I said was correct, you have Google, right? People have Google. You can look up the actual rule. And if I'm incorrect, I will apologize and move on.
Yep.
And I would hope that somebody who was incorrect would also do the same thing.
I've got a Mulligan's match on Saturday. So we've got.
So you guys do these. Speaking of Mulligans, let's transfer into doing something positive for Mr. Dahl.
Yeah.
Mulligan's Golf. You guys have a league, and I've played with you on some of these league things. Now, why don't you talk a little bit about that, because it seems pretty interesting to me.
It's just a traveling league.
Okay.
So we're going to let him tell the whole story. Basically, you can go play it as long as you have someone to contest your score for any length of the season. Play at each course with a contesting member. Doesn't even have to be on your team, just someone else to contest your score.
Got it.
Scores get posted. The only thing I don't like about it is, well, we could play on different days where the weather's different, the pin locations, that was my only like grievance. And I'm giving him feedback because I think I'm not like a golf god, but I think I like understand the game. I understand what would make it better, whatever. That was my one thing, is like offer up a night. So at the beginning of the season, maybe offer up a night every single week, like a Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, where people are back from cabins. You are not required to play it on that day, but it would be great if you can. We'll get as many people as we can to play that night, right?
So what
you're only playing 9 holes.
But you're shortening the amount of variables at that point, because you're both going to have you're all going to have basically the same weather.
Correct.
So that's the thing, is you have to shorten the amount of variables. Now, you can't change the variable of playing a different course.
No.
That's not going to change. Now, does it take into consideration, obviously he'll talk more about it when he's on, but will it take in consideration like the slopes of different places, or is it all?
Totally. It's all handicapped.
Okay.
Based on what tee box you play. So I think next year he'd talk like maybe just making it everyone plays from the same tee box, so it doesn't get so jumbled, and he's got to like track down what tee box you played and stuff like that. So I think it should always be. I think you should do Sunday nights because it just makes sense. If you work on Sundays, well, you're in the minority typically, right?
Right.
And Sunday nights work out great for a lot of people because you are home from the cabin, or you're home, you're winding down. Typically, you've spent the weekend doing family stuff, so you could get out on a Sunday afternoon or something to play 9 freaking holes. You know what I mean? Like, I think no other course has leagues on Sunday nights.
No.
So schedule it with them early on in the year, and you can always, and if you can't make it, well, then just make it up.
Right.
Go with another member a different day.
Yep.
Make it up. Like, it's not a big deal.
Right.
Right. I think that would help a lot. So because I'm dealing with this, so we made the playoffs, we can play it as an 18-hole match, right? So we finished third. And and we're playing the third place people from the season 1.
Who's your pards?
Casey something. I've never met him.
Oh,
So, because we've never played together.
Okay.
I always bring someone with that.
so do you have to play the match together?
Well, we don't have to, but we are going to try. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've started with words with these other guys. Okay. Because we picked a course. We said we'll play Bellwood. Okay. We're only playing Bellwood because
that?
Bellwood Oaks. It's in Hastings.
Oh yeah,
down south.
Yep.
Great greens. Like the course is okay. It's a tier 1, so it's free.
I played in the scramble there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's where the problem lies. They're being cheap. Okay. They don't want to play unless it's free or $20 or whatever, because it's a tier 1 through PCC. And I'm like, these guys are young. They have no kids, no family, whatever. So they want to play after 11 o'clock on a fucking Saturday. And I'm just like, no, dude. Like, it's going to be a 5-hour round, A. B, it's hot, and it wrecks my whole day. Like, why would I do that to myself?
Right.
So they're just like chirping. I wasn't going to go. I was going to just go get my round in with someone else. Now I'm going to go because I'm going to beat the fucking pants off this guy.
Yeah.
God, I'm so tired. I'm like,
Doesn't it just drive you fucking nuts?
nuts. They don't like, there's no like, oh my God, dude, I just can't. There's no IQ in these kids. Like, they just don't process. Like, they want to sit out there for 7 hours, like drive time. I go, we'll play somewhere closer to you because I think they're coming from a little up north. And I'm like, we'll play at Onika or we'll play somewhere else, but let's play at like 8 a.m.
Right.
Well, I don't want to pay the $50. I'm like, the one kid that's bitching has won all the skins or like has $300 balance in his skins pot. I'm like, dude, well, I don't want to waste it all on a round. I'm like, well, if I'm playing in a fucking match, I don't want to play at a dump hole either.
Right.
Like, I don't think Bellwood's that bad, but it's also not like if I'm going to wreck my whole day and be away from my family, I want to play at a place that's decent. Like Keith Dahl, he's playing his match at the Royal, and I get to go play Bellwood.
Bellwood Oaks, yeah.
It's just like,
Their
dude,
ball markers are a tree. So one grievance I had at that place.
I don't know. We're almost over time, but
Because I'm a collector of ball markers.
All we did was literally bitch this whole time, and that's fine.
There's been a lot that's gone on these last 3
Oh
weeks.
my
And
God.
stuff that we have to bitch about.
Yeah.
But on positive notes,
Positive notes. I got my putter back,
got your putter back.
so I'm making just every putt. Everything
Good.
I even stare at, it goes in.
And I want it to be known that there's a difference between bitching and having grievances.
Yeah, there's grievances.
But here's what I'll tell you about the podcast. We're the ones that bring this up. Nobody else wants to say shit
Yeah.
in this amateur golf world and how fucked it is sometimes,
Yeah.
particularly in Minnesota. I don't know why it is. I don't know why. I think it's because there's more golfers per capita here in Minnesota
Probably.
that all think they know what the fuck they're doing and how they should do it. But the problem is with that too is Minnesotans are cheap as fuck. Cheap, frugal,
And I've ran into some cheaters lately, which is weird.
fucking cheaters too, man.
I mean, I have to play. Like, I don't understand how someone can shoot 8 shots or 9 shots better than their handicap. That just seems impossible to me. How?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would have to be an absolute day for me to shoot 7 under par or 8 under par.
And
Like, that's just not even
and
fathomable.
what is the one thing you always hear? I just and they're always cross-eyed like this. Everything was just working today.
Yeah.
You know? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I've heard it a million times.
Yeah.
It's like telling a girl, this never happens to me.
Yeah.
Sorry, it only lasted 20 seconds. This never happens.
Yeah. I don't know. I just.
It's bullshit, and we need to nip this shit in the butt.
Well, there was like this Mulligan's little text thread. There was another guy that. What was the thing here? Let me look it up because here we go. Justin, who's a 10 handicap, shoots a 74. That just to me reeks of nonsense.
Yes, because if you're a 10 handicap, 20% of the time you are shooting 10 over par.
Yeah.
The rest of the time you're
above.
over 10 over par.
Yeah,
that
it's
is what
just-
handicap means.
Yeah. So to be honest, like, so that's one thing he's going to have to change for his league is he doesn't require GIN. He lets him use those other
Gint
apps.
and shit.
Grint and
Grint and
whatever,
all that
where
shit,
people
yeah.
are just like, whatever. But it still doesn't matter. We looked at the GIN for the other guys we played, and those scores were inputted by them, obviously. You can input your own scores, so you could just run it up. It's like me shooting a 74 and then being like, oh, actually, it was an 82.
Yeah.
You know, like, you want me to pad
Or
my
not
fucking
posting
handicap?
every score, only posting certain scores that fit the narrative.
Right. That too.
But and then you also can get reverse sandbaggers too.
Yeah.
That are like, I only want good scores to
Yeah.
be shown. And then you're fucking yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and we all know people like that too, but
Yeah.
post every fucking score.
I post the high ones. I post the low ones. I don't post practice rounds. I don't post match play. Like, you just don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of my shit's been match play lately.
Right.
But anyway, I'm not posting my 66 either. So.
Thank you for joining us on our therapy session, the Dirty Dozen of Miller and Dricksy's.
Let's go. We'll try to get some guests now that it's winter and people's shit slows down.
Yes, we need, that's the thing is when you're starting a golf podcast, you start to forget that
What?
like 3 weeks, you can just get flooded with golf events and not have
I was
time.
busy.
And you have to try to balance work and
Kids.
everything. So we appreciate everybody's patience sticking with us here at Miller and Dricksy's. We heard a lot of good feedback at the annual golf trip about our podcast. I hear a lot of good feedback just out and about playing golf. People know we're here. People know we're here and know that we're interesting. I'm still trying to reach out to Break 80 Golf Podcast to have a little collab with them. Hopefully we can make that happen. Obviously, it's two different styles, right?
Yep. They're
It's
serious.
sporadic and very organized, which is, if we get together, maybe it's chaos, maybe it's something awesome. So appreciate everybody who's listening out there. Miller and Dricksy's Dirty Dozen.
I'm going to go play golf.
Jake's going to go play golf. I'm going to go step on a roof.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.
Cause I'ma need a how you feeling. Well, I'ma need a how you feeling.